The purpose of this video is to show you some workarounds with the Canvas HTML editor. So what I've done is I've selected some text from your week 1 module and I pasted it into a temporary course that I work in. So I'm not making any changes to your course. Also, please know I'm available to do this for you because sometimes it can get complicated. So here's how this works. You are so right that the formatting in the HTML editor is frustrating. It truly is. And here's one case I can see. You have two number ones. Next you have an indented list that is also a numbered list. Then you have double numbers below. So I'm going to resolve all those issues. First of all, this one looks fine. This number 1 should be a number 2. And to fix that, first of all, just to check, I'm going to put my cursor on the word attendance, and I can see that's bolded and numbered, so that's perfectly formatted. The discussion questions, it's also bolded and numbered. That's fine, but it's not starting out right. So I set my cursor in front of the word discussion, and I click the backspace on my keyboard until it's integrated with the number 1 item. Then I put my cursor again in front of discussions and questions, and I click the enter key, and that puts in the number 2. If I want an additional space between the item number 1 and the item number 2, I set my cursor at the end of item number 1. I hold the shift key and the enter key, and that will give you an extra space. So now we have the next issue. Notice we have a numbered list with a numbered list. These 3 items we're wanting to be bullet lists. So we've got some formatting upon formatting. There are a couple of ways to fix this. If you're comfortable going into the HTML editor by clicking this link at the top, that takes you into the code where you could make some edits. Notice here we've got here's really our problem. We've got a list and an ordered list. So if I take away that ordered list, let's see if that's going to take care of that issue. And I'll come to the end, and there's going to be more formatting there. I'm going to take away the close ordered list here. I'm going to close the ordered list there. And come back to the rich content editor. Let's see what that did. Okay, so now I've gotten rid of the one extra number 1. If I select this text that has the numbered list, notice it's numbered. I don't want that to be numbered. I want it to be a bulleted list. So if I click that, that took care of it. Okay, so now I have my bullets the way I want. Again, if I want space between those bullets, set your cursor at the end of one of those items, hold shift, click enter, and that gives you extra space. Hold shift, click enter, and that gives you that extra space. So I've taken care of these 2 and the bulleted list. So now my final issue is that we've got this text with a numbered list. There it's numbered. We also have some written in text. And we want this to be a number 3 on the outside. So I'm going to turn off the numbered list to get rid of that. I'm going to go ahead and take away the number 6 that's there. And I'm going to bring this up the page a bit more. Okay, that looks right. Now if I go ahead at this point and type in the number, click the numbered list, notice it starts over at 1, and there's no way for me to force that to a 3 at this location. That has to be done within the HTML editor. So to do that, I click on the HTML editor, I scroll down to that area where the participation responses are located, and this is an ordered list that I want to start. So I put my cursor after the open OL and put in a space. I type in the word start, then an equal sign, then a quotation mark. I type in the number 3, my number where I want it to start, and then I close the quotation, and that should do it. Let's see if it did. Rich Content Editor. There it did. and it's all set up just beautifully. If I were to come and want to get a number 4, I put my cursor at the end of item 3, click the enter on my keyboard, and it'll continue on to number 4. So I'm going to go ahead and save these changes so you can see what they look like. And there they are. Now notice they didn't reveal, they didn't indent here as it showed on the editor. So if I really want that to indent, I need to come back and edit it. It changed itself. And what I can do is I can highlight that text and click this little increase indent. That's going to add a little gray bar. This is called a block quote. And once I hit save on that, here's what you see. It is indented. There is this little gray line that appears. I can force that out, but then it will be in line again at the D of discussions. So I'm going to leave it like this, but at least you see those workarounds. Granted, the HTML editor is a challenge. The worst part is editing any kind of table, if you use tables at all. Those really are a challenge. So if ever you're needing help with tables, which is here, I can help you with that. And believe me, I'm willing to do this for you because it can take tedious time. So I hope this helps. Thank you.